Kalispera to all the urbanists out there. Today we are in Athens, Greece. And on this Independence Day as an American, I decided to come to the birthplace of democracy. This is the Athenian Agora. Sometimes people pronounce it Agora. It is officially the birthplace of democracy. In Athens, as in every single Greek city, the Agora was the assembly area and the focal point of public life. It's amidst these trees right now, and we're going to zigzag through its ruins. The concept of democracy was first developed and practiced in the Athenian Agora during the 5th and 4th centuries BC. The area was gradually surrounded by administrative buildings, we see them peeking over here, to serve the democratic procedures. There's various buildings we're going to see, such as the council house and state archives as well. We're also going to see an interesting water clock tower, which is, I think, going to be really fun. And various parts of the Agora were excavated by the Greek Archaeological Society from 1859 to 1908, and then by German Archaeological Institute from 1896 to 1897. And since 1931, the American School of Classical Studies has been conducting systematic evacuation research in this area. Some 400 buildings had to be demolished in the surrounding areas in order to find them out. So let me show you before we walk here. I know the views aren't really that impressive so far, but look at the map that we're about to walk through. So here we see number 13. 13 is here, Stoa of Attalos. Stoa of Attalos, right over here. And then I think straight ahead, we're gonna see the biggest of the buildings, the Odeon of Agrippa. So let's walk through. Hey, Shelby girl. Adrian says, I guess he's thinking about replayability of his travel shows. Indeed I am. You start talking with no one here, says Steph? Indeed I am, yes. Hey, Action Show, nice to see you here. Hello, Steph Curry. Hello, Michael. So welcome to the ancient Agora. Oh, I'm so happy to be here. You know, I love my country of the US. I love New York. And Independence Day is a really great day. Of course, like Athens, like Rome, like the Ottomans, like every single society, like Mexico, like every single society that I visited that exists in history is complicated. But I really love that the United States decided to adopt a form of democracy. We adopted representative democracy, unlike the true democracy here. But nonetheless, it was directly inspired by the Greeks. And I'm so happy to be here on the birthplace of democracy as an American. So let me know if you're watching from the US, or if not, have you been to the Agora before? How do they say good morning in Greece? Kalimera. Lamborghini driver. Kalimera. So here we're seeing all the flora. During the antiquity era, ancient Greece, there was not that many flowers here or trees. It was meant as a public gathering area, similar to the Roman Forum. So it was not so garden-esque as it is today. Hello, Gwen. Hello, Amanda. Hello, Christine. Nice to see you here. Welcome, everyone. We're here. We're going to see something very fun. Something I deeply love. Something that people all around the world come to see. No, I'm not talking about a shopping mall. No, I'm not talking about driving fast in some type of highway. No, I'm not talking about going on a roller coaster ride in a theme park or drinking very expensive wine in some rooftop restaurant. No, I'm talking about seeing ruins. They're really fun. Let me know if I'm not the only weird one who loves to see broken rocks. They're beautiful. They're beautiful. Hey, Panagiotes, nice to see you here. Love these. Viewing from Chicago. Greece is high on your list next year. I'm so glad. The history for this particular segment. So I hope you enjoy it, as we mostly kind of enjoy the vibes. Jenny says, I caught you. Thank you so much for watching, Jenny. Kyle says, broken rocks rock. Indeed they do. Indeed they do. I just like to imagine, what were these? You are wandering my favorite area in the world, says Milani. Oh, Milani, you're watching from Greece. I'm so glad. Love these. Viewing from Chicago. Greece is on high on your list, says Brian. I think I read that before, but thank you so much for watching. Gwen Kay says happy 4th of July, and Donald as well, and Phil as well. Hello, Lauren. Hello, Gretchen. Hello, Linda. Maureen's watching from San Diego, California. Welcome. So evidently this is not an ancient building, but this is the rebuilt version of what would have been the ancient building. The Storas. Storas. Ruins are great. They help us touch the past. Indeed they do. But don't touch. they discourage you from anyone from touching, because if you get too close and touch, which I did not do right now, I was at least a few centimeters, I still did not touch. I got close, but I did not touch. The marble runs off because of the oils. And look who we have here. Little Adrian. He's taking a nap right now. Uh-oh. We have loud Americans.
She was a kid, so licking her lips.
Americans. I've always wanted to say that. It's more appropriate in France, but I've always wanted to say that. Hey, Mark says happy 4th to those who celebrate. Yes, we're literally walking the same steps that Pericles, the man who could have become king or ruler. I think so. I think he was, at least out of all the ancient democratic Athenian figureheads, I think he was among the closest to taking absolute control if he wanted to. Same as George Washington, but he chose not to, and he actually had a very warning people, similar to George Washington, saying that you should relinquish your power, because if you hold on to it, it'll be bad for everyone. I'm paraphrasing, of course. If anyone has the exact quotes, do let me know. And then the same steps by telling people, hey, hold up, you are not infallible. You don't know everything. You know nothing. And by encouraging people to be a little bit more humble in their sense of knowledge and power, he was protecting democracy. So if you don't know who Socrates is basically the father of Western philosophy. and we may see something about him on this journey. But I'm gonna mention him right now so you kind of keep him in mind as we're walking around. Why is he the father of ancient philosophy? A, because he had a very kind of humble way of looking at philosophy. His philosophy was about questioning things as opposed to answering them. Very similar to what I do in my own videos. I really don't care, you know, I respect history, but to me, the dates and the exact names and exact statistics are not so important to me when learning about history. I care more about the questions. And then the second thing is, a lot was written about him. He wasn't himself his own biography in essence, but his student Plato was a very avid writer, and he wrote as much as anyone can of their teacher. Well, did Socrates write anything? Let us know. Let me know if anyone knows that answer. So this is the Stoa of Attalos. And it's on the east side of the ancient Agora. And it was the gift of Attalos, king of Pergamon, as a fragmentary inscription had on the epistyle above, which we're going to see soon. And the building is 120 meters wide, 20 meters high, deep, and 2 floors right over here. On the ground floor, the exterior colonnade was Doric, and the interior was Ionic. The capitals of the Pergamene type. The Stoa of Attalos was a place for Athenians to meet, walk, and do business. However, in 267 AD, the Heruli attacked and destroyed this building, the Stoa of Attalos. Those were Germanic tribes. They came down here, aka barbarians. That was the word first coined, I think, by the Greeks. And they came and destroyed a lot of these ancient wonders. So a few people are correct. Indeed, Socrates did not have any writings. And you know why? Why did Socrates not write anything? You would think this guy is a philosopher. This guy's a teacher. You know, I record, I'm not a teacher per se, I'm an entertainer, but I record these videos. You know, they're live and they're also living forever because they're recorded in some format. You can replay them at any moment you want to on YouTube. I have writings on Instagram, I have writings on blogs, and I leave them recorded because I want to pass down that knowledge. But why didn't he record anything? Wendy says because he didn't have a pen. As that might be a worthy excuse. But B. Griffin is right. He did not believe in writing things down because he believed that writing was very counterproductive to thinking. If you wrote, you forgot. Let me know if you agree with that. Me personally, not so much. But I get what he's kind of saying. Let's continue walking around. In the 2nd century BC. I'm glad Plato wrote it down. So Plato was different from Socrates. Or should I pronounce it in Spanish? Sócrates, so I can sound a little bit more Greek. And Plato. He ended up writing. He was an avid writer. So much that he actually tried to become a playwright, but philosophy took him. And he decided to become a nonfiction writer in essence. though he did relay some mythological tales like the tale of Atlantis. Kay says, I always have to write things down. Indeed. Indeed, Kay. Wow. Look how beautiful look how beautiful the shadows. I love this. This is a great thumbnail shot. Hold the camera for a few seconds. Christine says, I would love to retire to Greece. I think it's rather affordable for a lot of people, especially in Athens. Maybe not the islands, you might spend quite a lot, but in Athens, I think it's quite affordable. As a retiree, I bet you can live a few months of the year and perhaps even spend less than you would in the US. Let's take a selfie. Okay, sure. All right, let's skip the museum part. So the museum part requires you to wear a mask, but let's skip it. Let's enjoy the outdoor area. Hey, Melanie says, I love your channel. Can't wait to visit other cities with you. Oh, cool, Melanie. So glad you're tuning in. Hey, Ronald says, where do you see yourself retiring? Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I haven't thought about that. I don't think I will retire, period, to be honest, Ronald. Wow. This is beautiful how they restored this entire building. I'm just magical. Wow. I'm in love. This is the power of architecture. You know, not all of life has to be filled with content. Not always do you need to know all the history or be entertained by a play or TV or something like that. Or not every moment in travel has to be exciting. Sometimes it's absolutely fulfilling to be standing in a beautiful structure. No need for anything else. Because at the end of it all, Socrates, I think, was right. We know nothing, so why try to know everything? He looks familiar. This is a portrait of Antonius. Antonius Pius, 138 to 161 AD. Melanie, you recommend I should go to Vugalamni? Yeah, I heard about the lake that heals. I did. Maybe one day. They actually don't have too much time to do a lot of other things. Oh, look at that. I love how if there was like a building there, it would look really cool. You hear the train passing through, and that's because that train is the very first metro line installed over 100 years ago. It predates the metro line of New York City. Oh. Look who we found, ladies and gentlemen. Who's that guy? Let me know in the comments. Everyone should know his name. His namesake used to work here. Who's that pigeon? Wendy says Bob. Well, Bob has come and visited, but the one that's trying to mount and have sex with the smaller pigeon. We're capturing a mating ritual. This pigeon is known for chasing the ladies, but he's not as charming as Bob. No, this is not Bob. Ruslan, thank you so much for a 19 Russian. This particular pigeon is always chasing the ladies, but he's nowhere near as good. And he's always trying to stage a coup with his own pigeon coop. Everyone, that is Pericles. Pericles the pigeon. Just tried to mount a smaller pigeon. Pericles the pigeon, everyone. Here's the metro line. BP says this is a family show. Exactly, it was he was trying to start family. Precisely. Precisely, BP. It's a family show because he was trying to start a family. How do we get to the second floor? Let's see. MR says that's the this is a beautiful pigeon. So clean. The other end, there are the stairs. Oh, I see right over there. Peace is caressing. It was fairly close. I could have. I've actually never tried that. Shelby girl, you got it right. That is Pericles. Pericles the pigeon. Cynthia says healthy pigeons in Greece. I have noticed that, yeah. Very healthy pigeons. So just like the cats. Cats also very healthy. Somehow they're taken care of. I'm not sure how. I don't think this is marble. I think they are using marble. This is new marble, so I don't think they mind. Let me sneak a touch. It's a bit rough, so I can't quite tell. It had a little bit of, so it might not be marble. Thank you so much, B. Griffin, for putting the link to join. First 360 video coming out later tonight. Piece of the Acropolis we really didn't see. All right, let's go upstairs before we continue through the Agora. There's a statue of Socrates. That's a good question. So Socrates' likeness has been recreated. Oh, actually, this is not the staircase, but here's something else. Socrates' likeness has been captured, not captured, has been depicted, but it's not 100% for sure because I don't think his likeness was captured during his lifetime. Though there are accounts of how he looked like, and people said that he was, I'm quoting, he was one of looked like he was not rebel stones that tried to Agora jailed up. So this is how the Parthenon looked like back in its full glory. So we see the Parthenon right there in the center. We see the Ecroterion right there. You might recognize it because of the female figures used as columns and the olive tray of Athena. Hey Susan and Shelby girl, nice to see you here. Thank you so much for tuning in on Twitch. We have another statue of what appears to be Athena right there in the center. And I don't think there's any evidence, but usually the case was where they would do ritual sacrifice of animals outside of the temple, not inside. Here's the Propylaea, the grand entrance, built by Pericles. Looks like you're entering a temple, but it's actually just an entrance. And the Temple of Nike right there. Right there's Temple of Nike, that one. Individual TikTok videos coming soon to TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Be sure to follow. Instagram and TikTok. If anyone could write down the link, please do so. This. Looks like Jefferson's monument, says Chris. Indeed, Chris. Jefferson's monument is directly based on Greek and Roman architecture. So it is no coincidence that this one looks exactly like it. And who knows, if anyone could let us know in the comments, did they use this same exact building? I think we'll be getting close to it, so stay tuned. A bench test? Oh, see if there's a bench that's a little bit more ancient. I don't know. Hey, please remind me of your name, the one written in Greek. Forgive me for forgetting. Kalispera, or good evening to all. Ariel, you blow my mind in a good way. And I'm the Greek one. You teach me information, well done. I'm so glad. What gorgeous country Greece is. Thank you for sharing, says Loretta. What time is it here? All my live videos are 11 a.m. New York City time, and it's 6 p.m. Greek time, and 30 minutes have passed, so 6:30. Christina, Christina is your name. Thank you so much. Christina. I'll remember, the one with the X. Christina. Shelby, nice to see you here. Beautiful view, says Shelby. Yes, this must have been a Greek written language. The phonetic alphabet of the Phoenicians later became Greek Vulgate. So yeah, these are Roman portraits. So a lot of these we're seeing are Roman. Why are all the statues headless? Well, I guess because they lost the bodies over time. That might be the case. Sometimes they're just busts. But no, in this case, they are headless. All right, one more time, we'll see the views. I gotta come back here and take photos, especially during sunset. Jean from Portugal, welcome. Can't wait to go to Portugal at some point soon. Please tell your president as well to open up. I think Portugal has a president, whoever the leader is. Okay, so without further ado, let's go downstairs and explore the Agora. Agora. I'm gonna pronounce it Agora because that's how it's often pronounced in the US. But I heard it here, a lot of people say Agora. All right, might be bad service, but hold on to your seatbelts. Vasilios, hey, Vasilios. Nice to see you here. Says I should come. Yes. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. There are bathrooms here available. This site, specifically this site, is accessible at least on the first floor, I think. I'm not sure if they have elevators. Philippe says Agora means now in Portuguese. That's funny. You pronounce it the right way, says B. Griffin. Oh, really? Katya says hello. Hey, Katya, nice to see you here. Breaking up. Yeah, we're lucky today. Susan. Hey, Axie, good morning from Oregon. You know, I just met two people on. I was filming some shorter videos. It was cool. Sorry, Seattle's Washington, but Pacific Northwest, close enough. Okay, you can watch the replay if you want to take more of this museum in, but for now, we're walking the same steps as another favorite philosopher of mine, Diogenes, or if I want to say a little bit more Greek, Diogenes. I'm just assuming that because it's in Spanish. I think that's the easiest way to speak Greek. Say it in Spanish. Which way should I go? We can go anywhere. Do you want to see ruins? Or do you want to see ruins? Or do you want to see more ruins? We got a lot of ruins here today, ladies and gentlemen. Kay says, I can't wait for you to pronounce Irish names. Oh, okay. I may need to get a pardon from the president of Ireland before I get there. I think I heard a woodpecker. Are there woodpeckers here in Athens? Hey, Tony, how are you, mate? Enjoy your holidays. Have iced coffee. I did. I had 2 Freddo espressos, and they are so damn good that I easily can drink more. And then I realized, wait a minute, this is 2 shots of espresso, just like any other American coffee drink or espresso drink you would drink in many other countries like England. So it's quite a lot of coffee, but it's so easy to drink. Kay says you'll be pardoned in advance. Thank you, Kay. We really appreciate that. If we get in touch with the Irish president and say, hey, pardon me in advance for grossly mispronouncing all the Irish names and inadvertently offending the Irish people. Hata says, visit Thessaloniki. Maybe I'll consider it, Hata. Maybe. Raul, welcome. Long time no see. Nice to see you here. Peace says, a never-ending path. Yeah, never-ending path. Maureen says, don't ruin it for me. I think your day's already ruined. Where are the drums? I say a joke and there's no drums. Name that column. Come on. Name that column, everyone. What column is this? Pythagoras must have known the original written language of Greece. Justin. Oh, why you say that, Justin? Christina says, Ariel, you can easily make Freddo on your own. Yeah, I can. Yeah. I gotta use my my wand to whip the espresso with water. So this is a Corinthian column. Yes, B. Griffin got it right. Pat got it right. Berger got it right. Vasilios, nice to see you here. So yes, a lot of people got it right. And this is a Corinthian column, and the way you can tell is because it's fancy AF. So it has a whole lot of ornamentation, a lot of swirls, a lot of curves. It's a very bodacious and loud and gorgeous piece of a column. So keep that in mind. What's the abbreviation? DIC. I can say that out loud, but we have little ones watching. But DIC, Doric, simplest, Ionic, a little bit more complicated, Corinthian, super complex. Life says, Ariel, wish you were my professor back in college with saying words like fancy AF. Oh, you got... Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at the place we've been wanting to see this entire trip. It hasn't been the Parthenon. No, it's not the Temple of Zeus. We're gonna see that at some point this trip. No, it's not that. No, it's not the beautiful Greek food. No, it's not the wonderful Greek hospitality. The thing that we have been looking for this entire trip is a ruined bench. And we have found it. If you sit on this bench, your trip is complete in Athens. Who wants a bench test? A ruined bench test. Do you want to ruin your day? All right. We're gonna do a ruin bench test. It even has a crack right down the middle. All right, let's try this out. Let's see how this bench measures up. Ooh. All right. It's massaging my glutes because it's very rocky. It's a rocky bench. I feel like I'm on rocky ground right now. If I were sitting here with a significant other, dare I say that our relationship might get a little rocky. But it's nice. It's nice. It's like there's some kind of life. There's some vibrancy underneath my glutes right now. It feels nice. It feels a little bit of variety. It's the spice of life. If you do decide to lean too much back, you might fall down. But the good thing is there is no cat poo. There's no bird poo. That's nice. That's good. And a very, very big plus is that you see the views of the Acropolis. Wow. There's no shade either. So no shade. But luckily also no cat or bird poo. And you get beautiful views and you get a nice free massage. So I would give this bench a mediocre 6.8. It's a 6.8 bench. That's what it gets. Beautiful views, but no shade in this Greek sun. So ruin your day and sit on. Is there any wisdom coming out through this bench? That's a good question, Axie. I'll tell you later when it comes. Axie, wanna? Zhao says I broke it. Yep. At least it's not high elevation as in Mexico. Yeah. I don't feel nearly as hot, even though Mexico was a lot feel hotter in Mexico, more sunburned in Mexico than I do here. And I think it's due to the elevation. Here we're closer to sea level. Much closer. So this used to be the middle stoa, the middle part of a larger structure. Vasilios says those are Daphne flowers, very common in Athens. Thank you so much, Vasilios. Daphne flowers. Raul says, is it cold or hot? Hot, Raul. The city is Athens, and when it comes to the pandemic, things are pretty light here. Not too many restrictions. Look at that. Wow. Beautiful. All these columns supported this massive building. Are they fragrant, Axie? No, I did not smell too much from them. The Daphne flowers. Beautiful, but no, not too fragrant. What tree is this? That's so interesting. Irene, so yeah, I said that there was not that many trees in this particular area, not in Athens in general, just in this complex. It was not common to have too many trees nor bushes. So yeah, they didn't have shade, but they had shade from the architecture. So of course we're just seeing ruins, so we're not seeing the roofs, and we're not seeing the porticos, but they did have porticos in some of these buildings. So shade was provided there, and that's where they would meet. Socrates, Plato, his student, Aristotle might have spent time here as well, and my friend probably wasn't too much of a fan of going to these governmental buildings because he preferred to live in a clay pot just outside and tell people to stop blocking the view, including Alexander the Great himself. So that's what happened, literally. So another philosopher, and I don't have any stories maybe particularly to a location here, but I think it's kind of nice to know who he is as we're walking around, just kind of imagining this philosopher. I mentioned him many times, Diogenes. And Diogenes was the founder of a school of philosophy called Cynicism. Some people could say he's also kind of a progenitor or precursor to absurdism or Dadaism that came much, much later. Basically actually, I'll describe the story, which I said in the philosophical chat, but it was very late into the philosophical chat, so I'll repeat it right here. Diogenes was in his clay pot, sitting down, and he was right around this area where he would have views of the Acropolis. And he would spend his day there defecating all along the Acropolis and the Agora, basically anywhere where he pleased, because he believed that people shouldn't take things so seriously. Even these beautiful sacred grounds of the birthplace of democracy should not be taken so seriously. A young man comes up to Diogenes. He's so eager to meet him. This young man was also eager to be taught by Aristotle, but he was interested in Diogenes as well. And he goes up to Diogenes in his clay pot. He reeks, he smells, he has very long, unkempt hair. He might not have been so pleasant to be around in terms of the odor, but he was curious nonetheless. And he's a kid from much farther away from here. And he goes up to Diogenes, so excited. And he meets him, and Diogenes says, "Hey, I gotta tell you something." And this kid thinks he's gonna have some huge, massive revelation. Oh, Diogenes is going to tell me some deep philosophical truth of the world. This way, maybe I'm gonna gain a new insight that would lead me to become a great leader. Well, Diogenes, can you just step to the side? And the young man is like, "Oh, okay, all right. He steps to the side. He's excited. He's like, "Okay, all right. Now he's gonna tell me something. He's gonna tell me something great." And he bends down. He's like, "Oh, good. You were blocking my view." And that was it. That was the only thing that Diogenes had to say to this great man. And this man was Alexander the Great. Ended up being taught by Aristotle. And who knows if Alexander the Great learned anything from that. But I think Diogenes' lesson was sometimes he's got to not block the view. Like over here. Sometimes you just got to stop blocking the view. What does that mean? Well, you find out for yourself. Does it mean anything? Well, you find out for yourself too. Axie says you're a great storyteller. Thank you so much, Axie. Oh, the train passing through. That was before he was great. Yes, indeed. Indeed, that was before he got the moniker, yeah. Though I think he was called great during it. Thank you so much for tuning in. So keep that in mind. Socrates might have stepped through here. Pericles might have planned some great building here. And Diogenes might have defecated here. These ruins are not merely ruins, they're filled with stories. Sarah says they do say never to meet your heroes. Expire Life says, Ariel, do you mind stepping over? You're blocking my view. And Raul says, my English is weak, but I can understand your language. Oh, I'm so glad. You're very red-faced, says Rogerio. I'm very red-faced because I'm filled with passion, Rogerio. Ooh, Ashley has a great interpretation of what Diogenes might have been teaching Alexander. She says, stop blocking the view because it's not about you. Whoa. That is a great interpretation, Ashley. Great inference of that line. Yeah, maybe Diogenes saw that this young man seemed a bit too prideful. Maybe that's how he approached him. He kind of got that sense immediately. And that's why I told him, hey, just move over. Huh, yeah, Ashley. Everyone give it up to Ashley. Give it up to Ashley. That blows my own mind. Like, whoa. That is genius. Sorry for the wind. I hope you're enjoying the sounds of the wind nonetheless. Let's walk through here. Someone earlier asked if there's a grave. They are not graves. Graves are more cylindrical in shape. And I don't think we're passing through any of them. But in the city, we might pass through them. Scott says, my history teacher once started a lecture and said that Alexander was a thug. Yeah, I can imagine. Justin says Diogenes was the original troll. Yeah, you can say that as well. Look at this, we found another bench. Oh my god. Wow. No. This is a bench. Huh. Justin says he made fun of Plato and alluded to a homosexual relationship with Socrates. Says Justin. Oh, interesting, Justin. Interesting. Does anyone know if Diogenes has any of his... Did he write anything down? Chris says go to Sintagma Square subway station. You'll see a lot of Greece on display. Okay, great to hear. Is it sandstone? I don't know. Good question. Good question. So everyone here is probably one of the better benches I've ever been here in Greece. This is absolutely magical. We actually have a shade over here. Just like Diogenes threw shade at Alexander the Great through some important philosophical teaching, I have shade right here underneath this beautiful tree. This is a gorgeous bench. Gorgeous bench, gorgeous view. One downside is it has these huge ridges, so my glutes aren't feeling happy. But damn, this view really makes up for that shortcoming. There's a lot of ants right here as well, so my feet might be covered in ants. but wow. Wow, just look at this view. So I'll give this bench, second bench test of the day, because it's truly unique. I'll give this bench a good 8.1. It's an 8.1 out of 10. It's a very good bench. Great view, but it's very highly uncomfortable. But maybe you'll forget it as you're looking at the view. Maybe. Until you stand up and then you'll realize, oh wait, everything is cramped and also my glutes are asleep. But maybe that is the nature of life. Maybe sometimes our glutes need to be asleep. Because if glutes are always awake, then can we truly know life? Let's continue walking. How long are you in Greece, Rosemary? 17 more days. Hey, you have nice view and shade, says Shelby. I do indeed.
J'entends pas, ça coupe. Déconnecte le wifi sur ton déconnecte le wifi sur ton téléphone.
Vasily says, there goes the bell again. Yeah, so the restaurant I actually went to, it's right down there. Diodes. Diodes is right down there. Check out the philosophical chat that I had here 2 days ago. Is your bench test influenced by how tired you are? I'm a bit tired, but not that bad, Irene. I've been walking since like 12 noon in hot sun with many layers of suntan lotion. Justin says, oh, Justin has a little bit more to the story of Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great replied, if I could be anyone in life, I'd pick to be you. Oh, interesting that he said that. So look at this. Beautiful. Vasilius, have I been inside a Greek Orthodox church? I have been inside one of the Greek Orthodox churches, but they're very strict on filming, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to randomly walk into one of them while streaming. However, I might have filmed a TikTok video with it. Wow. So this is the temple of Hephaistos, a Doric temple, and it's one of the best preserved of its type in the world. So here we see a Doric column. Doric is the simplest one. No base. Now, how are these temples still standing to this day? You know, earthquakes do happen here in Greece. Well, the Greeks have one trick up their sleeve, or up their togas. Instead of having one huge massive column like the Romans usually did, they had columns in different pieces. Each piece was clamped together using iron and a wooden stick. That wood is one of the best preserved wood in all of European history because it's encased in pure marble. And that's how it's still standing to this day. So we do see the sections, but this section is a bit more better preserved, so we don't see it sticking out too much. So the temple was actually converted into a church, St. George, around the 7th century. In the early 19th century, the church was used as a burial site for Protestants and many Europeans who died in the Greek War of Independence. So Greece overall is a very Orthodox country. They follow Greek Orthodox, and there was a great schism many, many centuries ago, where the Orthodox world, the Eastern world, split off from the Western world. So you have Greek Orthodoxy, Russian Orthodoxy, the other Orthodoxies, and you have the Catholic Church, and of course, to a certain extent, the Anglican Church, and the Lebanese one as well. Orthodoxy is very traditional, and also they're not as tolerant of different cultures as as Catholics, to be frank. So they don't allow if any, churches or places of worship for other religions. And also they really don't allow any other types of burial. So this was actually a very unique type of structure where they used to bury some Greek heroes who were not Orthodox, who might have been Catholics or other types of Christians. Phil, was accommodation in Athens cheaper than the islands? Yes, almost a fraction of the price. I'm paying half or a third of what I'm paying in Santorini for only 2 days. I'm actually paying less for a week in Thessaloniki and almost half as well for a week in Athens. So it's very inexpensive here in the mainland, much more expensive in the islands. Oh. Teresa says it looks like a good place for bats. Oh, good question. I'm not sure if bats live in Athens. If anyone knows, do let us know. There are different churches and denominations within Christianity: the Catholic Church, the Greek Orthodox, and Anglicanism. Yep, that's right. Phil, thank you so much for clarifying. Yep. Some people might not be. Some think that Socrates. Justin says some think that Socrates was corrupting the youth. Is a tongue-in-cheek reference to his sexual relations with young men. Yes, Justin. Don't know too much about that aspect of Socrates. I'll just reply to Justin's comment real quick, but let's not really get too deep into it. The concept of homosexuality as we know it in the modern world, where at least till very recently, till the Stonewall riots of 1968, Stonewall uprising of 1968 in New York City, to the legalization of gay marriage in the US just a few short years ago, and to lots of legalizing of gay marriage across many European countries as well. Before then, in the past hundreds of years, especially since the Christian church has been in control in the Western world, and the Islamic churches have been in control of many parts of the East, we would think homosexuality was really looked down upon in ancient Greece. But that actually wasn't the case. It wasn't really that looked down upon. If not, it was somewhat open. Maybe not in terms of romantic, but otherwise, it appears to have been open, especially when you read into the history of Alexander the Great. So keep that in mind, or kind of perception of other sexual orientations is influenced by what humanity has gone through for the past 2,000 years since Christianity and the other Abrahamic religions. But it was different in ancient times. Susan says, yeah, it was the norm. Yeah, it was the norm. At least from what I read in Alexander the Great, no one really batted an eye. Which is a figure of speaking, saying no one really cared that some men were sleeping with others. Wow, what are those birds? Hey, oh wow, what are you? Hey, does anyone know these birds? All the Greek people out there? What is this? Wow, beautiful. Are they shy? Let's see. Scott says, did they have some kind of toothpaste? I'm not sure about toothpaste, but I think toothpaste is a rather modern invention. And I think it's from America, if I'm correct, from Kellogg or Colgate. One of those companies was the one that invented it first. But in terms of mouthwash, it might have been the case because here in Greece, I think spearmint is indigenous to the area. If anyone knows for sure, but there is some type of mints are indigenous to the area. And other herbs like parsley. Which, for anyone who doesn't know, cleanses your breath. And most gums are made specifically with mints. These are magpies. Oh, magpies, great. It's magpies. Hard to catch. Wow. I'm in awe of this building. No wonder Jefferson Memorial looks exactly like it. It stood the test of time. Oh wow, that is a good photo opportunity. I wish I can walk inside these buildings. I wish I can walk inside these. No. Alright, let's continue walking. You're not allowed to go inside, says Jasmine. No, they're not. They're trying to preserve it, of course. And it's reasonable that they're doing that. So what other ancient ruins will we see? Let's see. Justin says soap has been found in Crete going back 4,000 BC. Wow, that's quite a lot. Where are we heading? I don't know. But we will find out. It's almost deserted now. Yeah, you know, Greece is one of the most visited countries in the entire world, and Phil is making an excellent observation. Phil, you're saying that it looks deserted, and I've noticed that. I remember going to the Parthenon when I visited back in 2015, and it was packed to the brim with people, but now it's rather empty. This is weird. There's ancient ruins, but we found an ancient cassette tape. Wow. That's so cool. Look, everyone, an ancient cassette tape from an era long, long ago, 1980s. An era where people oddly had very big curly hair. They wore very bright colors as well. They danced to this ancient music called synth pop. Imagine Socrates listening to synth pop. Wow. That's amazing. I didn't know Socrates was such a 80s aficionado. Skyscraper Junkie says, love your channel, been following you for a long time. Excellent work. I'm just here today. What year is this building? Back in Pericles' time, so 400 BC. A lot of these buildings are. Ouch. 1980s, ancient? Yes. Ancient 1980s. What is this? Why are these stones laid up on this way? And what are those urns? It was Plato's mixtape. Yeah, it was Plato's mixtape. What would Plato have on his mixtape? Let me know. What ancient philosopher, name one ancient philosopher and name the 1980s music he would listen to. Right now in the comments. What would Plato listen to? What would Socrates listen to? And what would Diogenes listen to? And if you know of any other of the philosophers, there's a few others, do let us know. So I'm not sure if we're going to encounter much more ruins this way. Wendy says, Michael Jackson, rock with you. That does sound like something that Socrates would rock out to. Helen says they would listen to Sting or Hall & Oates. You know, I have a feeling that Diogenes would have been a fan, weirdly, of Sting. Will make no sense. Alright, so I think we ran out of ruins, ladies and gentlemen. Did we run out? We're in ancient Greece and we see no more ruins. I think Socrates will have loved Joy Division. Oh, that's a good one. Socrates will listen to Talk because that's what he liked to do. Vin says John Cage. Diogenes was a Los Ramon fan. Los Ramon. Oh, who are the Los Ramon? I never heard of them, as far as I know. I don't know where we are. I don't think I'm supposed to be here. Oh my god, we found ancient water pipes. Wow, Socrates had good plumbing. Alright. We're going off-road. Los Ramones were a punk band from New York City. Oh, Burger, you're meaning the Ramones. You were saying it in Spanish. Yes, the Ramones, yeah. Diogenes would like the Ramones. They're hard, they're fast, they're snippy, and that's it. It's amazing. Great. Scott says, I meant to mention that the modern composer Yannis Xenakis spent a lot of time in his earlier education in Athens. Oh, that's cool. And he was in the World War II resistance. That's awesome. Love a good stroll, says Wendy. I'm glad you do, Wendy. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you're doing well. What is that sound? Cicadas? I think they're pronounced. Cicadas. All right, so I think we're really off the beaten path. Let's see if we can go back to the main area. Are we lost? Yes, we are. We're lost in time, Ronald. This is basically midnight in Paris, but instead of walking in Paris and ending up in 1920s, I'm walking in Greece and ending up in 400 BC. Hang out with Diogenes. Wouldn't that be a lovely movie? A man goes back in time and meets all the ancient Greek philosophers, Pericles, Pythagoras, and all the other important ancient Greeks. Sounds like a cricket, says Irene. Okay, cool. Thank you, Irene. It's 83 degrees Fahrenheit, 28 degrees Celsius right now in Athens. And the wind is only 2 miles per hour, so it's a very light breeze. This is so cool. Thank you, says Helen. My pleasure. Have I seen fig trees in Greece yet, says Lucy. No, I have not seen fig trees, but I don't know how to pick them out yet. So if anyone knows how they look like, do let us know in the comments. All right, so I think we gotta go to that final church. I think that'll be one of our last stops. Syl says Diogenes will listen to Another One Bites the Dust by Queen. I think Diogenes would have been a fan of David Bowie. I know that's a different song, but thinking of Another One Bites the Dust reminds me of David Bowie. Ronald says, and all that we see as philosophy is a stand-up joke in Greece. That would be funny, Ronald. And Scott says, stand-up philosopher. That would be very funny if going back in time, we end up finding out that these ancient philosophers are actually just stand-up comedians. And somehow that got lost in history, and we just assume that they are genius philosophers. Imagine if that happened today. We go millennia from now, in the year 4000 AD, and we see a great book, the book of Dane Cook. And it's because everyone thinks that Dane Cook was a deep thinker, a man who had deep philosophies of life. So now we're back on the main path. Let's see if we can see any other major sites here. Wasn't Freddie Mercury from Greece? Asks Wilmy. I don't think so. He's from Zanzibar. Indian family. So no, I don't think he's related to anything to Greece. Oh shit. I'm sorry everyone. I had a very spiky flower attached to my socks and it hurt. Hopefully it wasn't ticks. For any of the Greeks watching, actually, do I have to worry about ticks when walking through more of these wilder areas? Because I know in New York area, yes, you do. Is that the case here? Do let me know, because then I might wear longer socks. But I don't see that many people worrying about it. So, well, this is the water clock. We found it. I don't know too much about it. If anyone knows a little bit about the water clock, it was built in the 4th century BC. Aside from that, I'm not sure what was its intention, but obviously they told time through water. Berger says ancient Greek philosophers thought Lao Tzu and Confucius were old school. Berger, I don't think ancient Greek philosophers knew of Lao Tzu or Lao Tzu. And or Confucius. Well, Confucius came way after, way after the Greek philosophers. But Lao Tzu, I think, might be around the same time, but I doubt they knew of him. Having dinner tonight, says Teresa. I already had my big lunch, so I'm probably having a very small, humble dinner. Something tiny, like a gigantic pita filled with gyro, like a gigantic gyro. Something tiny, just for me. Oh, an ancient cistern, or an ancient well. Are you sure we do not need to use Waze? Good question. I don't know. I don't think one could get really that lost. There's the recreated building / museum that we visited earlier. We're just wandering around, enjoying the sights. Look who we found, ladies and gentlemen. We found Hypatia. Irene, oh no, I did not take a picture of my lunch. Esfiel says I wear longer socks just in case. Yeah, that's a good question. I've seen some people wear sandals, so. But yeah, maybe. Is this cat friendly? Yeah, he looks a little bit friendly. Look at that. He's just resting. Phil asks, are we joining you for gyros? Good question. Let me know if you're interested in the short mini live video of eating very good gyros right next to the live video. Let me know if you're interested in that. Vote now. We're going to show you this church over here, which is going to be very interesting. Halil says, do you plan to visit the ancient sites in Anatolia, Greece? Yes, 100% want to visit, Anatolia, Greece? Anatolia, Turkey, sorry. Anatolia, Turkey, yes, 100% want to visit Turkey. Have not been yet, and I'm so eager to go. Ooh. There are steps here. That means we can walk into the ancient ruins. Oh, that's so cool. Awesome. A lot of people are saying yes to gyros. Okay. Live video. Jasmine with the $5 super chat. Jasmine. Yeah, yeah. We had also a lot of stars today. Hey, anyone who sent me stars, do let me know who you are. And we had a few PayPals as well. So thank you to all the PayPalers. Some of them were very, very generous. So thank you so much for the PayPals and the stars. Thank you so much, Jasmine, for the super chat. Burger says, not a fan of watching people eat. Indeed, that's why I make content for everyone. I'm glad you're enjoying the walk, Burger. The most people know Socrates, but one of the most important philosophers is Epicurus. Yes! Though Epicurus doesn't have too much history as far as I know here in Athens. He mostly hung out in one of the islands, if I'm correct. There's an old church, 1658, opposite of the steps you took to the sunset spot. You visited yesterday. It's called Agios Domitrinos Lumbardaris, says Phibos. Ooh, Phibos, thank you so much for a recommendation. Phibos is a local Greek, local Athenian. Thank you so much for a recommendation. All right, we have 300 people watching. Slam that like button right now. Slam it as hard as Diogenes slammed his buttocks onto the Acropolis, sleeping on the ground, annoying all the Democrats over here. So slam that like button right now and let me know if you're on Team Like. And if you're on FB, share this video and also slam that heart button and let me know if you're on Team Share. The reason you should slam that like button is because you'll see more videos like it. If you really enjoy these vicarious trips throughout the world, YouTube probably find out other creators that are doing the same and show it to you. They'll show you more of my videos. You'll be alerted more of my videos. And also it increases the chances of people who need these type of videos, who want some type of vicarious travel and still don't know that this exists. They'll find out about it because it spreads the word. Let's go upstairs. All right, let's... So this is the Church of the Holy Apostles. It is situated over the Nymphaeon. The original floor plan of the church was that of a cross, which is the deal with basically every single church in Catholicism and also Orthodoxy, with aspices on the 4 sides and narrow 6 on the west side. 4 columns support the dome. And it was mostly built in AD 1000. So wow, this is 1,000 years old. Wow, 1,000 years old. In this case, I don't think it's an issue touching history. You had to wear a mask to get inside. Calimero. It's very common in Orthodox churches to have the figure of Jesus Christ directly above in the dome. 1000 AD. Christina, thank you. So Epicurus was associated with Athens. He died here. Thank you. Faristo. So Chris, yes, I mistakenly used Kalimera. It's Kalispera. Yeah. Still, my Greek is not so good yet. It's not so good looking. Maybe I'll learn it a little bit better as time goes by. All the ancient rocks that try to escape the ancient Agora. Hey Dao, nice to see you here. Oh wow. Macaulay says, I'm amazed there aren't more people. Yeah, you know, a lot of Americans are not traveling yet. I think Americans are more traveling a little bit more inside America, but not yet internationally. People might not want to go to the hassle. People might not be vaccinated. A lot of reasons. All right, so there's nothing more here to see in this area. So we walked most of the ancient Agora, the very foundation of democracy, where it all started here. Philosophy as we know it, Western philosophy started here, and the likes of many other people like Pythagoras hung out here and many others. So this is a place filled with immense, deep history. It is absolutely beautiful to be here. I'm so grateful to visit this place, to be able to see it in a calm time, and to share with all of you around the world. Because I thought to myself, I love to travel and I love to make videos, so why keep the travel all to myself? 10 minutes? Okay. Okay. Sounds good. Okay, thank you. So it's closing. I'm taking one final 2-minute seat on this bench before I have to rush out. Yeah, I thought to myself, why keep the travels all to myself? I love live videos. I love making videos in period, and I love telling stories. So thank you to everyone who watches, to all the super urbanists out there. Give them a round of hearts. They are the ones sponsoring the show. And the moderators, give them a round of hearts on FB, on Twitch, and also on YT. They're the ones helping keep the good vibes in the comments. And some of them are actually both as well. And you guys are so awesome for keeping the good vibes as well on your own. So I'll see you soon for some gyros, how to find some good gyros right next door to all these ancient sites. And then more videos every day at 6 p.m. Greek time, 11 a.m. New York City time. Should be like 2 p.m. England time. Let me know what time is it in England for 6 p.m. shows. Keep being awesome and always keep on exploring. Have a great day, everyone. Kalispera to all the urbanists out there. Ooh, we got another Mark, thank you so much for a $5 super chat right in the nick of time. Enjoying your commentary. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Kalispera, everyone. Kalispera.